Okay, so I'm going to start with a story. And the story goes like this, that there was a young boy, and he went to a martial arts teacher and said, "Teacher, will you teach me how to fight?" And the martial arts teacher said, "Yes, my son, I will teach you how to fight." So the boy says, "Teacher, how much time will it take me to learn to fight?" And the teacher says, "It will take you 10 years to learn to fight." The boy thought for a second and he says, "Teacher, if I double my effort, how much time will it take me to learn to fight?" And the teacher says, "Son, it will take you 20 years to learn to fight." Now the student is a little perplexed. He says, "Teacher, if I triple my effort, how much time will it take me to learn to fight?" And the teacher says, "It will take you 30 years to learn to fight." And the student says, "There's a problem here. I'm proposing that I'll increase my effort, and you're saying it will take me more time to learn to fight. Why is it so?" And the teacher says, "My son, your focus is not in the present. Your focus is in the future. And all the effort that you put in the present will not bear fruit for you." So, ladies and gentlemen, some of us live life like this. We do not live in the present, we live either in the past or we live in the future. And then all the effort that we put in the present, they don't bear fruit for us. And when they don't bear fruit for us, we become stressed. Meditation could be a potential solution for this stress. Let me talk a little bit about my own experience. There was a time in my life I was completely stressed. I was so stressed that I would wake up in the morning stressed out. Even before anything has happened in the day, I would still be stressed. And what was I stressed about? I was stressed about the events that had happened yesterday, events that had happened a week back, a month back, a year back, even 10 years back. I was still stressed about them. I would be stressed about events that had not happened, events that might happen a week later or a month later or a year later. And to me, I was also exhibiting stressful behavior. I was getting angry and I was getting irritated. And I was getting angry and irritated at those people who looked up to me. So my spouse, my children, my parents. I was also very anxious all the time. And that had started impacting my health. My sleep patterns were going all over the place. My relationships, I couldn't keep long relationships. My relationship was short and I was not able to maintain them for a long time. My energy levels were poor. And I would feel drained out most of the time. I was depressed and I was not making that much money because of that. And I said, "Vidhu, this is wrong. Something is breaking down here and you need to solve this particular problem." So the question is, why was I so stressed? What was the underlying cause of that stress? Why was this actually taking place? And I figured out that the reason for stress is our inability to let go. Now, what does that mean actually? What does letting go mean? So letting go, and I'll kind of explain it through a story. So there was once a Zen master and his disciple, and they were walking to the monastery, and it was an evening, and it was raining very hard. And they reach a river, and the river is overflowing because it's raining, and there's a lady standing there. And she tells the master, "Master, will you help me cross the river?" And the master says, "Certainly, I will help you cross the river." He picks up the lady, he helps her cross the river, sets her down. And then the master and the disciple continue their walk towards the monastery. After some time, the disciple says, "Master, I have a question for you." So the master says, "Yes, my son, what is the question?" And the disciple says, "Master, we have taken vows never to touch a lady, and here you picked her up." And the master turned around and said, "My son, I set down the lady many hours before. Why are you still carrying her with you?" And ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens to us. Events are over, but we still hold on to those events. We don't let go of those events. Uh, so meditation is one way of resolving this problem of not being able to let go. What happens in meditation? What happens in meditation is that when you sit down for meditation, your entire attention is focused on your breath, and your breath is in the present. If there is one thing in the present, that's your breathing. Your breathing is neither in the past nor in the future. You're breathing in the present moment. So as you start meditating, you become present in the moment, and you stop living in the past and you stop living in the future. I've had many benefits because of meditation. I have learn to live in the present moment. And what does it do for you? You're sitting in the office and there's a meeting that's going on for 1 hour. And most of the time, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, our mind is somewhere else, thinking about home or friends or food or this or that. I have the ability to be present. When I'm speaking to people, when I'm speaking to a friend, to my parents, to my spouse, to my children, I'm completely present with them. I'm hearing what they're saying. The quality of my responses are better than they were before. The simple pleasures of life, like eating food, have improved for me. The normal way that I used to eat food was the food was there, but my mind was elsewhere. My mind was in the, what happened in the office and why did my boss say this? And I should have said that to him. And why did I didn't say all that stuff? Or I was looking at the phone, that happens very often. But now there was a situation when the food was in front of me, I could see the tomatoes, the redness of the tomatoes, the greenness of the lettuce, the whiteness of the potatoes, the gravies, the silkiness of the gravy. I could smell the aromas. And when I would eat the food, the flavors would burst inside my mouth. My taste buds were stronger. I could actually experience it. It was almost like a spiritual experience for me. My relationships improved. And my relationships improved not because other people changed, it's because I changed. I became more open. I became more present. I became more accepting. I became more kind, loving towards people. So I would urge all of you to spend 5 to 10 minutes, if possible, in the morning and if possible in the evening as well. Sit down and meditate. And meditation is basically sitting down and focusing yourself on your breathing. If you find that hard to do, just be aware. If you're walking on the street, be aware of your steps. If you're eating food, which everybody does, just be aware of the food, as it's going in your mouth, just be aware of it. I promise you a couple of things will happen. First of all, you will have improved relationships in your life. You will have improved sleep patterns in your life. You will sleep much more soundly. Your deep sleeps will be much better. And you will have reduced stress and anxiety. So thank you very much.